Ta-da! I know everybody loves the porn timer music. I know it's 5 minutes long, and I will probably shorten it up, but I don't care because it's rad. And it makes me laugh. So that's all.
I don't think short and porn should go in the same sentence.
That is true. There is truth to that. Wickman, you're wrong. So first off, I know that the timer started like 3 minutes late. That's thanks to the lovely asshats who drive in Texas. Dude, swear to God. Texas, you know what? Here's the thing. Like, I mean, again, I lived in Southern California. I commuted. I understand traffic. But here's the deal. Even if I had to put the car in park on like the 210 freeway or the 405 or whatever, I at least knew that there was no physical way for any of the people around me to be moving faster than they were, right? It may have sucked that we're all doing 5 miles an hour, but at least we all were doing 5 because it wasn't possible to do 6. However, here in Texas, it is like there's a spot where you go through the middle of downtown Dallas. Wickman knows where this is. And you go through a tunnel where downtown is over the top of the thing. So I bring this up because it's one of the few places in Texas where you can see the freeway ahead of you because you go down and then flat and then back up.
It's
Literally,
the largest mountain in Texas.
Yeah, exactly. It's 7.5 feet. So there are, you want to go to mountains in Texas, you come to Dallas because that's where all the overpasses are. We call those mountain overpasses, right? So anyway, literally like the 2 left lanes, which are the lanes that are going to go north on 75, the direction I need to go, are completely parked because nobody's moving. But there are 3 other lanes on the right side that are jam-packed for like a quarter of a mile. But the other 3/4, they are empty. When I say empty, I am talking, I am not a road rage guy, but I got pissed and I downshifted the thing, went onto the shoulder, did the, hey, check me out, I'm in a Civic, and went between people and into 3 wide open lanes for 3/4 of a mile at 70, while all these asshats over here are parked, and then in and down and onto 75, where the 2 fast lanes in the left lane still continue to be parked, whereas everybody was driving down the other side. I'm like, what?
That section of freeway doesn't matter what day it is, what time it is.
Nope.
It is completely fucked every time.
It is because people are stupid.
Hey, Chad, if you want it bad, come up and play in Asheville. A place where you
have an audio cable, and if I get pissed and hit things, it quits.
Except you got the semi-trucks that are racing at 48 miles an hour, one doing 48.2 miles an hour. You have every SUV and their mother who can't, they can't do 1 lane at a time. All 3 lanes at once, screw to everybody behind you. And
did you say Asheville?
Nashville?
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
Oh, Nashville.
Asheville. One person who's got to jump on either me or Chad at this
Nashville.
point is Scott, and that's because Scott was insane enough to drive a limousine in Los Angeles. You couldn't pay me enough to do that shit.
Yeah, but Scott knows what I'm saying, that literally everybody drove it whatever the fastest it was. And, dude, you got to know that Liggett was like, okay, so back in the day, for those of you that don't understand, so I'm Chad Reynolds, Bankshift.com. Of course, that guy's McTaggart. Next to him is the one and only Charles Wickham, a.k.a. Wickman. James Crosby below me. James lives in Ontario, California. Liggett lives in Kearney, Nebraska now, but was a limo driver in Southern California for a jillion years, okay? And Liggett will nod when I say this. There were times where I was like by the airport or something trying to get home at the wrong time of the day and would literally call Liggett and be like, is there a faster way for me to get home than the way I'm going right now? And 90% of the time he'd be like, nope, not a way to do it. But dude, 10% of the time there was a, okay, where are you at? I'm like,
calling me at 5 o'clock on a
exit.
Monday. You call me at 5 o'clock on a Monday, like any freeway is open at 5 o'clock on a Monday, in LA.
Hey, but dude, but how many times too? Well, I shouldn't say it's one time. I called Liggett and said, hey, dude, I need a place at the airport where I can just pull over and wait. Okay. And I don't remember who was coming into town, if it was Daphne or whatever. But anyway, at LAX. And Liggett says, go around the corner here, turn right. You're going to be between an apartment complex and a parking lot. You're going to go down 2 blocks, hang a right. All the limos are parked on the side of the road right there. I'm like, no way. He goes, yeah, every limo and black car will be right there. That's where you stage. That's where you want to be. I'm like, okay. It was awesome.
Or you go to the In-N-Out Burger and sit in their lot.
Yes, there you go.
Or just sit in the drive-thru.
Okay, so.
No, they have a.
No, I was
Yeah,
being
exactly.
facetious.
Okay.
Right, I'll trade you for your traffic for the day of the snowstorm, 12 inches of snow here, and everybody trying to drive in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
See,
went.
because snow is really easy to drive in when it's fresh, but once it gets packed, it becomes icy. Like, well, not even icy, it just becomes very slick because it just gets so compacted. So
It's called
Well,
ice.
the only thing they had done this morning, because it snowed basically from 6 a.m. Yesterday morning till about 10 o'clock, about 8 o'clock last night.
yeah.
And we got about 12 inches of snow, plus blowing snow, drifting, and all that. Well, by this morning, the only thing they did was run the plows down the most major streets. So, and so this morning, I'm driving. Thank God, most everybody stayed home. I mean,
Yeah.
really,
My
schools are
personal
closed, all that,
favorite.
but yeah, it just people turn into idiots. They don't know which, they drive in both lanes.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 4-lane
My
road, but they're
personal-
driving down the middle. They're straddling right down the middle of the road. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
My favorite one is the freezing fog.
Oh, freezing fog. Yes.
oh yeah.
I know that for different reasons.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So we'll
that's
have the
good
freezing
time.
fog in the morning. That's what we're expecting in the morning. But
You are really muffled sounding, Crosby.
Yeah, there's
Is that better?
Yes. There you go. Much better. Yep.
yeah, so
Well,
But-
I am glad we don't have crappy weather here right now, but yes, my driving experience today pissed me off. So
I sent you some pictures of our nice little storm this morning.
yes,
Chad.
I saw that. Yes, Liggett. No,
Yeah,
dude.
they buried my truck in the
Stop
snow. The snowplow buried my truck after I dug it out, and then I had to undig it out again just to get out forward, just to get to work. And then today I came home, and instead of digging out the rest of it, I just drove through it and back and forth a few times, and was having fun with my 4-wheel drive that I don't usually have fun with.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing
it's
wrong with
$1,000 truck, so who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who cares at all?
Yeah.
Well,
The neighbor was parked in front of my door, and I had to ask him to move.
Oh, really?
oh, that was tough, wasn't it? All right, so today we're going to start off the show with, to everybody that's joining us, by the way, thank you for joining us and for hanging with us while we're laughing and saying stupid stuff. Rod Hagen is like, I'm from Canada, and there are times during the winter when you can't tell where the lanes are. Yes, I agree with that. Okay, so today we're going to talk about 3 topics. Well, we'll never get to the third one, but this is the plan. Which, if you're new to
Before
the
we get
show,
off topic,
thank you. Like, subscribe, do all those things. We never stick to the topic for more than 1-ish, 2 maybe subjects. And some days we show up with no topics. So, whatever. So today our topics are project vehicles or projects, which is interesting because this is what I sent everybody as our subjects. I sent the word projects, the word events, which is actually our third thing. And what was the second one? Project.
See how organized we are.
I know, but my brain is all rattled. Oh, marketplace. Sorry. Projects, marketplace, and events. Now, here's what's funny about that. So I sent that to everybody. McTaggart, being so on the ball, which I appreciate, actually sent me, see projects. Well, so this is funny. So you're in the same boat there, though. Ooh, the cord. So you and McTaggart both took this to mean personal projects. Totally okay, because I gave no clarification. And I meant it more generically speaking, the topic of projects, because of a funny thing that I saw. But it's okay. We have pictures. It's going to be great. So, and Wickman will understand this because I'm going to make fun of him and his newest project in a minute. So 2 things happened this week that made me laugh. So one, I saw a thing that was like a little Facebook post or TikTok. I don't remember, one or the other. And it was like, I hate MFers that have 6 project cars and none of them run. Is the first thing that their budget is $63 and Third, are still hunting for more projects on Marketplace. P.S. I'm the MFer. Right? Because we're all guilty of that. I don't care. Yes, exactly. Everybody that is into cars whatsoever, whether you need a project or you don't, you are always looking. Okay? You are always searching for
Squirrel,
new
disco
projects,
ball.
even if you're never going to buy one. Huh?
Squirrel,
Do
disco
what?
ball.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, whoa, look at that. So that was the first thing. The second thing was our friend who shall go unnamed on here recently bought an Acura. And McTaggart knows who I'm talking about. None of you guys recently bought an Acura. I don't know what, 2 months ago, maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
And it was this, it's a TL, is that what it is? I don't know. It's some 90s Acura. And we literally all were like, why? And he was like, oh my God, it's great. It's lowered. It's this. The engine's rebuilt. This car's worth $11 bajillion. It's got the coolest, all these things. None of which I read. I was like, okay, looks like a lowered Acura that's missing center caps and is partially apart. Now, he is trying not to kill himself about this car now because it's a pile. And the dude that tried to put it together that sold it because he couldn't make it run, it literally, like, it's had no spark. And today he found out there was, not only was the crank position sensor bad, well, it wasn't bad. Wherever it is in the world, it's probably fine. It just wasn't there. And I'd love to say Crosby's famous words, it fell off. It fell the F off. But I think that whoever it was just didn't even put it together again. So
our friend who shall not be named looks like a real life rage face right now, and it's fucking great.
Oh, it is. It's hilarious. And so those things got me thinking about projects, right? So, which also helped by Wickman's latest thing. So Wickman is, how many projects do you have technically around the country? 4. Okay. And that's, you're lying because Amanda's behind you right now. Yeah. Blink twice if you're safe. Twice if you're safe.
Yeah, but he's smart though because he loses everything he's got. He's out $9.
Well, that's true. Hey, if I lose everything, I mean, other than like 2 or 3 of them, I'm out $11. That's fine. But so Wickham sends me a thing this week. And you did you send that via, that was text message, huh?
Yeah,
it was. Okay. So I don't have it, but he sends me this picture of a Volvo station wagon. Send it to me on Facebook. So he sends me a picture of this Volvo station wagon, and I go, okay. And I like it. It's a little boxy Volvo station wagon, but he's like, I said, why? What are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm going to look at it or whatever. I'm like, why? You just got the Mazda. You got all these other things going. Well, of course, he comes up with the typical car guy like reasoning, which I'm all in for, by the way. I am not judging him. I am merely highlighting your greatness here. He literally says, well, no, if I build this and do that and drive this every day and then sell the thing I have, I'll be ahead money. And I love him for the logic, mostly because it makes me feel better about the fact that I use the same logic all the time.
There is a statement that goes along with that, Chad.
All the time. Huh?
You know why a rationalization is more important than sex?
Why?
Because nobody's ever gone a week without a rationalization.
There you go. That's exactly it. Well, here it is in all its glory. Now, you do own this now, right, Wickman?
Pick it up Saturday.
Does it still have the car phone
Pick it up
mounted?
Saturday.
Wow.
Because of weather and schedules and all that, it's. I was by myself when I went up last weekend, but we have a deal done.
Does it include the baby on board sign on the window?
No, but I am looking for one.
No, but it's got the car phone with the pigtail.
Garfield that's stuck to the window.
Yeah.
Garfield with suction cups on his feet.
Yes, that'd be great. So tell us about this thing, Wickman. What's it got? What's the specs?
It is completely bone stock except for the cut springs on it. That's it.
And this is out
what
of
year
Colorado,
is it?
right?
What engine? What transmission,
It is
etc.
the 4-cylinder, what they call the tractor engine. It's a 5-speed manual.
It is a 5-speed. Okay, good. That gives it some merit.
It is a 5-speed. It has actually Euro spec headlights.
Yes, I saw that because is it a gray market car or is it just Euro spec headlights?
Just the Euro spec headlights for now.
Okay, gotcha.
I've actually been in contact with our friend over in Norway.
Yeah.
And he is talking to his Volvo friends and is supposed to be scrounging up some parts for me to make it more, I guess, Euro spec, I guess you could say.
Gotcha. Very good. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about when I say gray market, a gray market car, they're way less common now than they used to be. Oh, that's the dream of it right there, but make it a wagon. A gray market car is a European spec car that would have been shipped to the United States. That was fairly common in the 80s and 90s, but depending on the state you were in, could have all kinds of issues with titling and registering it and all kinds of stuff, and so it caused a lot of problems for a lot of people. So
bumper regs, regs, all that stuff. That's
exactly.
One of your old cars is on TV right now, Chad.
My old cars?
The vet
Which
cart.
one? Oh, the vet cart. Yes. Yes. For those of you not in the know, the vet cart that Finnegan and Freiberger and Newbern and all that was my car. I cut that thing apart originally with Freiberger and some help from Finnegan years and years and years and years ago for the Vet Hack story in Hot Rod Magazine. And then it sat in my backyard for a long time, and we had whole plans. It was supposed to look like a 63 Corvette, but just all out of tubing. And then Hot Rod quit wanting to do it and all kinds of junk. So it sat. And then one day they called and said, hey, can we have that thing so we can do what they've done with it now? And ultimately they did. And it's cool.
This is the one where they're supposed to drive it on 2 wheels.
Oh, gotcha.
That's the one where they dumped Freiberger on his head.
Yep.
Nice.
That was
I don't even know. I've never literally. I've watched not a single whole episode of Roadkill ever. I don't have
hilarious.
I don't have any of the thing, and I've seen failure enough. I don't need to watch it on TV.
Freiberger hates successful stories. He thinks they're boring.
Yes, apparently. Yep. Yeah. Hence Finnegan having his own YouTube channel because he had to be successful at something. Yeah. Okay, so
that doesn't work either.
One of the interesting things, that we're going to talk about with regards to project cars was sent by Wickman, and I think it's complete BS, by the way. But what do you guys think? So this post that says value of 1990s cars have soared 78% in the last 3 years. It shows Bitcoin at 21,000. Is this current? Is this now? I thought Bitcoin was worth like $5 now or something. I don't have money, so I don't know. I'm just asking.
Well, going by the Dow, that's got to be this week.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
This week or early last week or late last week.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. Well, then, so what do you think? Have 90s cars really have their value soared in the last 3 years? 78%?
Not to that point, I don't think.
They've soared. They're definitely climbing, but you've got to look at 3 things, which is those who wanted them as young kids and teenagers are now to the point where they can actually go out and buy them as a project car without any financial repercussion or minimal. You have the damage that was done with cash for clunkers.
Yep.
And you have a broad aftermarket that is supporting these cars realistically. And I love the fact that they used a Roadmaster, the most unlikely car that has gained a cult following. Back then you couldn't give that barge away. Now it is the home run dream for so many, hipster crossover with high rodders.
I think we had. Didn't we have 2 on Race Week last year?
Yes, I believe so. And so Valerie says probably
Morris
not 70%, though. Yeah, Morris has one. That's what his
Is
Dragon
this
Drive
a
car
Caprice
is.
or a Buick?
It has wood grain down the side. I think
a friend of mine has two of them. His name is Nick Kind. He's got two different versions. He had a Turbo LS on Race Week last year, and then he's got one that's got a Cummins diesel in it.
So the Steve Morris.
But he's talking about the one Steve Morris has, and the one Steve Morris has is the silver one with the wood grain, and I believe that's one's a Caprice wagon.
Is it? I thought it was a Buick Roadmaster.
Caprice wagon is the black hearse crossover.
Yeah. That's a hearse. That's a different thing. But look up Steve Morris's car and find out. Yeah. The here's the deal though. So on these, I believe that the price has gone up for people who don't shop. Like every single time I've had anybody send me for the obscure stuff. I'm not talking about 3rd and 4th gen Camaros and stuff, because that stuff obviously is going up because they're Camaros, right? Or Firebirds or whatever. But I'm talking about the oddball stuff. Like I don't see that at all. Like the truth is, I'm not exaggerating. Every single time I've had a friend who's not as hardcore into this that goes, oh my God, I found this great I found this great Roadmaster. It's in perfect condition. Oh my God, should I get it? I've always thought one of these would look cool lowered with wheels, and it's like $13,000. And I'm like, yeah, if you want to buy one, great. And I go clickety, click. Okay, yeah, here's 6 of them for $6,000 that are just as nice. Like, so I don't. Yeah,
I can see if it's super nice,
but I don't.
If it's super nice, spend the money, but because you won't have to replace a bunch of things.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I agree wholeheartedly. Josh Jolly, if you can't hear us, everybody else can. So it's got to be on your end, dude. We don't have the ability to turn it off for just one person. So
sorry. What would qualify as a non-mainstream? Because obviously you're going to look at Mustang, Camaro, the Impala SS.
Yeah.
Those are mainstream 90s. What qualifies, besides the Roadmaster, obviously, as a non-mainstream enthusiast car that you would expect value to go up on?
They wouldn't be an enthusiast car. They're not. That's what I'm saying. So nowadays people are like, oh God, look at this. It's a 4-door, 91 Olds. You're like, yeah. And they're like, oh my God, look, it's so clean. It's worth it. No, it's not. It's not worth anything. It never was worth anything. I don't believe that. I believe that 90% of the cars that people like go, oh my God, the value of these have gone up, are not truly enthusiast cars. They're just cars from that era that people are grasping at, right? Like the truth of the matter is, while I love Wickman's Volvo and I dig those Volvos, the number of people that actually give a shit about those Volvos compared to how many of them are for sale is negligible. Like, to us as enthusiasts, there's a lot of people into those, but a lot of people adds up to so few that there aren't any restoration companies that would care. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? That's where that would be what I would use. There
are some people though that are, it's like a cult following for a select few on those vehicles, and they think they're worth $11 billion.
And Valerie has the exact and assorted rubbish, the exact ones. Berettas, Z24 Cavaliers, the Z34 Monte Carlo, all of those were, there is no real enthusiast market for those. There is just a diehard little, small groups. You know what I mean?
You got things like, one of my Facebook groups I'm in is Melee's Motors. These are people who go out and hunt these cars. I know guys who are into late K cars, like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Guys who are into random multimobiles. There's a gentleman who actually just bought the Japanese market version of what we got as the Acura Vigor, I believe it is. Kudos to them. I'm glad to see people who will buy.
100%. I've always said, like, I'm a diehard Chevrolet guy, right? But if you're into your whatever, Fords or Volvos or anything as much as I am into my stuff, then rock on. And I like some weird stuff too. Don't get me wrong. Everybody has some strange perversion when it comes to cars. But I'm with you on that there is, like, somebody being into, some off year or, into any K car makes them fall into a very small diehard weirdo group. And I'm not saying that like trying to be, mean to them. I like Chevettes. That's a weirdo little car, okay, for people to be into. And that's still more.
Yeah, but we don't want them stock.
But still, you see where I'm at, right?
Well,
who wants a stock Chevette?
Correct. Nobody. Yes.
The guy
I want it stock when I'm trying to blow it up.
Yeah, there you go.
Chevy Citation. No.
No, God, no.
So,
I think they screwed that one up.
So what is the what is this? That's a Chevy Citation, yes.
Okay, you want to play that game? Where are they?
Dude, Wickman will win.
Taylor has an X11.
Wickman has hundreds of Hot Wheels cars. Remember, he modifies them. Yeah, the 4i Fox is good. What's the other one?
Okay, so the only cars you guys got that are painted are Hot Wheels.
Yes, I have a Hot Wheels Barada.
Yes.
Modifying them? Yeah, you can.
No. Actually, I will say. No,
that's more than I had when I was 10.
Hundreds of Hot Wheels at his house with him right now, and that's not all of them that he has by a long shot. I helped him move. Remember, I know the Hot Wheels, like an entire closet full of Hot Wheels.
All those are still in Texas.
Dude, I'm going to send you these two so you can paint them up like her Mustang and the Super Beater. And for those who don't know, the Super Beater was my old Murata from about 10 years ago. That was an absolute trash can. I loved it.
Those things were freaking cool.
So McTaggart actually does own a painted car. So I'll show it. I mean, I only own one painted car. That's shiny.
Are we going to jump into that?
Well, I'm just going to show it. Yeah, we're not talking about specifics of each other's projects tonight. I mean, you can if you want. I don't care.
No, let's give you a very quick rundown on this one. So, one, it's painted, but the paint is coming off on its own accord.
Yeah, but it's still that car's still
it's just getting lighter.
It looks nice.
Yeah,
just getting lighter.
I can make this thing look good in photos.
It's getting lighter. I like that.
I was gonna say, where's the fun? So right now the Charger's torn apart. Brakes because this thing looked like it had been doing standstill burnouts for hours on end with a donut spare on the back, and there's rubber in the wheel wells to prove it, which means that whole low mile car that I bought was complete bullshit, but whatever.
It might be low miles just because it did a lot of burnouts during those low miles.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying it's not low mile. I'm just saying that they did 5 hours on donut spares. That wheel had about a pound of weight on it for no reason whatsoever.
That's awesome.
I like how they're opposite of each other.
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't even the best part of it.
I know. That's my favorite part, is that they're opposite each other, counterbalancing each other, which not necessary.
God, this thing keeps taking a ton of weight. I can't understand why.
Yep. New radiator, some details here, details there. The plan is this thing needs to be interstate road trip sometime this year. I'm hell-bent on it one way or the other. Most of this work, it's just catching up. The brakes haven't been serviced in forever. The shoes are cracked. The drums were completely and utterly wasted. That was the adjusting cable. And that's exactly how
inside the drum when he took it off.
That's exactly how I pulled it off. And
then PETA should come after you for killing the frog.
No, not some old dude with a heavy twang and old bass salt in his hand are going to show up and have himself a quick smack. Poor little froggy. And then that is the other project. The car is nowhere near in sight, but that is the 302 destined for the Great Pumpkin Mustang.
Yep.
That was in the red Mustang I've sold off.
Yep.
It needs to get swapped in at some point, but my lazy ass just hasn't got there yet. So.
And what transmission's going behind this engine?
It's going to get back to the stock C4 for now.
Oh,
okay. I want to get an overdrive automatic and a deeper gear in that car.
Yeah.
Because right now, even with the stock Flyer gear that car came with, 70 miles an hour is a big ask. So it can do better. For both cars, I want them interstate drivable, which means at least with the flow of traffic. I'm not trying to do a $110 through Phoenix. I'd love to, but I just want 70, 75 miles an hour with the engine in a happy place, without it getting hot, not, reasonable fuel economy. And the Charger's already done this, but the Charger I got other plans for that I'm not discussing yet.
Well, it'll be fun. The Charger is getting lots done. Now, Liggett, you just drove your Impala for the first time in 11,000 years the other day.
I saw that.
Oh, I don't know if he can hear me.
I think he froze.
No, he's good.
He's moving, but he can't hear us.
What?
Are you there, Liggett?
Liggett.
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh,
No, I just said that it was the first
he was just
time
conveniently
in forever
ignoring
that you drove
us.
your Impala. Yeah, exactly.
No. Oh, I've been sending pictures of projects to Chad. So.
Oh,
two
yes,
I'm working on at work and one at home. So.
So how's your Impala? Were you happy to drive it?
Oh yeah, I was driving it in the slop last week. The snow was melting. The car was filthy. I didn't care. I sent you 2 pictures of it, the way it looked. I was just glad to be driving it again. So
yeah,
I saw the one where it was pulling out of the garage.
Yeah. Yes,
exactly.
Yeah, what you didn't see was the snow in the alley that I was driving through. So, but so I didn't care, And both ends of my alley are now mud, thanks to the city and their stupid grading system that they do. They grade it. All they do is turn up all the mud and shove all the rocks underground.
Yeah. So you've owned this car since
November 1996.
Wow. Yeah, which is awesome. And it looks good sitting there in the snow. Oh, wait, wrong way. Yeah, it looks good sitting there in the snow.
That's I take those at the movie theater parking lot, did some drifting and
Nice.
Yeah, and so the theater's closed right now, so and then the Mach 1 you saw, that's a customer's car. It's a little farther along, and these are old photos. Along the end of the car is closer to be running now. It's got vintage. Yeah, this is my boss's 62 Impala bubble top that I've been working on this week. So we took that off.
Awesome.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my boss didn't like that. He wanted to keep it, but he hated the hood. So the hood that had to go. So.
Oh, you know what? I'm not going to disagree with him. I'm not going to disagree with him. I mean, I think
the painted bumpers are gone. They got chrome bumpers on it now. We got a grill for it now. We're getting rid of the billet grill. The car's not running right now. The hydraulic clutch blew out on it, so the 4-speed's on it.
Yeah,
but
I dig it.
Yeah, but
that's cool. It is a 4-speed in it.
Yeah, it has a Muncie 4-speed in it. But he's debating whether or not to go back and forth. He's been going back and forth whether or not he wants to make it a 5-speed, and he wants to drive it because it's big enough to get all of his family into. So
yeah, that's cool.
And it's not so nice that it can't be a driver. It's got full ride tech suspension, disc brakes, Ford 9-inch. A lot of work was done to it.
Yeah.
What I did was we put a regular 4-barrel Holley and Edelbrock intake on it, and then I rewired half the cars because we took the battery out of the trunk because it was in there for no reason.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, yeah. So I put the battery back up front and then rewiring that and try to make everything work. Hide the ugly MSD box that was sitting on the firewall right behind the carburetor, so that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
that's what I've been working on this week. So,
well, the second part of the sort of project discussion is and Ryan Wing is right. Tunnel rams are awesome, regardless.
That's a cross ram.
I know that is a cross ram, but yes.
Yep. And whoever tuned it knew what the hell he was doing, because that thing, and we left that thing out in the middle of winter all day sitting outside, and we go out and crank it. It would fire and idle instantly.
That's awesome.
Whoever tuned it knew what the hell they're doing. So if you want that whole setup, it's set up for a oval port intake. So if you want it, let me know. No, actually, it's rectangular port. I'm sorry. I take
okay.
Carbs, air cleaners, and intake, all of it, linkage, it's all for sale.
Very cool. Yeah. So speaking of for sale, so Facebook Marketplace, right? Always a challenge, right? Whether you're buying or selling. McTaggart hates it, like absolutely despises it. He has some of the most entertaining adventures trying to buy and sell stuff. It just blows my mind. I have not had.
Brett lives on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, I buy and sell shit on Facebook Marketplace every week. I shouldn't say sell. I buy every week. I sell occasionally, but I buy stuff all the time. So for example, the latest thing I just bought yesterday, I bought a 1970 C10 original Chevrolet hood, and you're asking, Chad, why would you buy a 70 C10 hood? You don't own a 70 C10. In fact, you don't own a 67 to 72 C10. And you know what? You'd be right. But this dude listed this thing for $100. It just said 70 Chevy C10 hood.
It's formats and stuff for a 70.
He said the front of the hood is messed up, and he had it listed for $100.
Yeah, but the rest of it's good.
All of it's good. There's like literally not. I mean, I could have this thing paint ready in 30 minutes.
For what?
So for anything, whatever truck or vehicle you wanted it to go on, it is an original GM hood, and other than the area where the emblem was, it is perfect. And I paid $60 for it. Okay. Dude had it listed for $100. I said, if I come get it, will you take $60 for it? He said, yes. So I went and got it from him. I bought it to use it as either a door for one of the rooms in my shop, or to go hanging over a door into my shop as an awning. And it was literally $60. And it looks like somebody, I don't know what hit it, but something smacked the emblem and barely dented it in where the emblem would have sat. And it literally, and then they tried to fix it. It has a 1/16 of an inch of Bondo on it. I mean, it's that thin. And the Bondo's flaking because they put it right over the dirt and paint and whatever. So, I mean, if you put an emblem on it, you would never even know there was a problem with this thing, but you could fix it and have it perfect. I mean, literally in 30 minutes. So it's unbelievable. But I bought it for an awning over the door of the shop. Dude was like,
I have a 1955 Chevy hood that I bought, and I don't own a 55 Chevy. And I bought it for the same reason. I bought it for the same reason.
I got a tailgate
as an awning to my walk-in door.
Yeah. I got a tailgate for a 620 Datsun hanging up here.
And you don't own a 620 Datsun. In fact,
but I didn't buy the tailgate. Datsun. I did for a while. Long time ago.
Okay. Long time ago. What is up, Stephen Umberger? Josh Jones, everybody in the house, thank you for joining us, liking. So here's the thing, though. So on Marketplace, I hear this all the time. People going, oh, people are flaky. They're this, they're that, blah, blah, blah. And I understand. I do completely. But
unlike Craigslist or OfferUp.
Yeah, they're exactly all the same. I have found that people selling things are flakier than people buying things. My experience.
Yeah, ask Jay about
that. The people that are selling things are the flakiest.
There's a trick to Marketplace.
Oh, what's the trick, Wickman?
Okay, first off, you have to look at the seller. That's the first thing I do. Then I go on their Facebook.
Oh, of course.
Then I look at their Facebook profile, see kind of like are they just or do they have one photo from the past 5 years?
Right.
In the ad itself, look at how words are spelled, spelling, that kind of stuff. If they actually give a decent description, that's how.
Dude, people are incapable of writing. So I love it because the description very often does not match what's actually there.
But that's what was crazy about the wagon. It was just like, I mean, everything was like the way it was worded. I looked at like his profile, seeing if this guy's like actually legit, if he's a real human kind of thing. Yeah. Looking at other photos, other stuff he has for sale online, and also it's kind of like
the number of photos matters too.
Yeah, and also there's kind of like eBay now, where you have seller feedback. It's like, how many times has this person like sold items? And
that's true. Yes,
they give you like a star rating. So it's like there's all those little things just kind of add up, and basically you're able to weed stuff out.
And I think you should, especially depending on how much money the thing's going to be. And I'm sorry, but I am not sending somebody money. Like, that is not happening unless I am very sure. Like, there is no way, I'm doing I'll send you the, deposit on Venmo. No, dude. When you see the whites of my eyes, I'll give you the cash.
That's kind of like how the working the deal with this guy. It was like, he's like, let me know a time when you're going to pick up the car. He's like, when you're there, it's like, we'll do the fund transfer. And my roommate, because he's not going to be there this weekend, he said he will have the keys and titles for you. Yeah. And I already looked at the title. I looked at the VIN compared it to what was on the car, the title itself.
Yeah.
It's all on the up and up.
Right.
And it was just like the price of what he's selling the car for was like, it was like almost too good to be true.
Well, and see, that's the ones you got to watch out for. The other day, our buddy Andrew works at Roadster Shop, and Andrew is laughing because he's had all these customers that have called, or potential customers who have called about a Camaro chassis, Roadster Shop chassis, that was up for sale on Marketplace for like $6,000 or $7,000. And it's a $25,000 chassis, and it's all brand new, and it's sitting there, pictures and stuff. And everybody's like, yeah, can you confirm this is really a Camaro chassis before I send them money? And he's like, really? Really? You think that anybody in their right mind is going to sell a $25,000 chassis that you're waiting 9 months to even get started on construction for $6,000 or $7,000? Yeah, then we'll sell you one for $100 right now. Like, what the hell? I mean, sometimes it just boggles my mind, the stuff that people go, oh my God, it's such a great deal. And don't get me wrong. There are times where you see something that's a great deal and you're like, that can't be right. So I'm going to send a message and see what they say. And, and you can usually tell if the quality of the pictures is horrible. And I don't mean somebody was handicapped and doesn't understand how to take a good picture. I'm talking about like it's grainy and all that because they've copied it off of something else. Run away. That is not the car for you. One picture, too bad. Somebody that posts up and goes, more pictures coming later. Yeah, well, jackass, you should have taken the pictures. My favorite is when somebody writes a description that isn't a description. It's like, 69 Camaro. Good. Like, that's it. I send them a message and I'm like, can you give me more information on this? But worse yet, they say, message me for more information. You send them a message, you're like, I'd like more information on the 69 Camaro. What would you like to know? My blood pressure goes to 11 jillion at that moment. And I become asshole Chad. And here's what I do. I go into full dick mode and I go,
as opposed to what?
I would like to know all the things you would want to know if you were going to buy a car. That's what I want to know. Like, I don't know. Maybe all the things, you idiot. That's what I want to know. Jesus H. Christ. I swear to God, if you are that person, jump off a bridge head first. Please do us all a favor. My God. Those are the kind of people that just make everybody hate life, and you're only ruining it.
Chad and his Linus Van Pelt theory. I love mankind. It's people I can't stand.
The way that Chad is right now is my usual, so this is kind of refreshing that I'm the calm one.
Yeah, right?
Well, this looks like an angry cat in a fishbowl inside that fucking car on the freeway.
Yes. Jerry Jakowski says he's had way better luck buying than selling, and I've heard that from a bunch of people. Oh my God. Josh Jones, would you trade? What do you have? What do you like? Oh my God. My favorite one too. How about this one? How about this one? Will
what does
not
it fit?
sell, will only trade.
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
What kind of logic is that? I am going to offer you actual money that you can use to buy whatever the F you want. Oh, wait a second. I know why. Because you're either here illegally, you got the feds are after you, something. Yeah, so I'm going to buy from you, you con man douchebag.
What does it fit? What do you got? What do you got?
The ones that I like are the ones that's like, I'm testing the waters. And I'm not sure if I want to sell it. I don't have to sell it, but I'm testing the waters to see if I get a price I like.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Scott Liggett, yes. I am testing the waters.
$5. Stop off.
Test the waters. I'm about to test the waters while I shove my foot halfway up your ass. That's what we're about to test.
I think my favorite right now
dude, that's so good.
My favorite right now is it's a decent car. It's a decent price. Everything looks good on the surface. And they go, doesn't have a title, but that's not difficult to get in this state. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't know of any state where getting a title is at least a minor pain in the ass, if not an absolute catastrophe.
Oh no. And my deal all the time is then get it. I will pay the fees for it.
I've told a couple people that. I'm like, you get a title and I will.
Yeah. It's not that hard. If you get a title from me, I will.
I've had people that go, oh, well, we lost the title. I said, then fill out a lost title paper and they'll give you. Well, no, we lost the title from the previous owner and their signature was on it, but we never put it in our name, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
That sucks.
Well, then when you take $2,000 off of it because I'm going to have to get a bonded title, then we'll do it. Like, I mean,
I got the Peterbilt Gizmo registered before it even had the chassis welded together off of a VIN tag that had exactly 6 digits on it, and one of them was an L.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but I bought Rusty for $400 and didn't get any paperwork. I mean, there was no bill. I almost got shot standing there looking at it before, and the dude was like, why are you standing here in my property? And I'm like, can I buy this? And I paid $400 for it, drug it up on the trailer and hauled it home. And I gave him $400 and he let me leave with the car. That's what I had. And I went through the process. It was not that big a deal. Got it registered and titled, registered in New Hampshire and the whole deal. There's a whole ways to do that are not illegal, even though they sound kind of sketchy, but it's okay. There are plenty of ways to do that and do it right. And
Louisiana.
Josh Jones, this is great. $1,200 car, and the person says the title is with the paycheck loan place. Oh, I need to shop in your neighborhood, my friend. That is spectacular. Oh my God. If you're in the chat, like put in what was your the favorite thing you've ever heard on Marketplace. Like, Joe Grippo, is this still available? Oh my God, that's great. You know what though? In people's defense,
that's a reasonable question, honestly, and I hate
it is.
It's like, don't just ask if this is available. No, they're literally saying, "Is it worth my time?" Is the question here? That is an opening question.
Because I am telling you that at least 30 times in the last 3 years, I have responded to an ad that was vehemently claiming, as soon as it's sold, I will get rid of this ad. And I went to them and they said, oh, sorry, I sold it 2 weeks ago. And I literally, again, going into dick mode, I'm like, yeah, well, you said you were going to get rid of the ad when you sold it. Oh, well, I forgot. Yeah, well, next time, don't write that shit. You know? I'm like, oh, my God.
That's hit me a couple of times real bad on a few cars I was really going after.
Oh, yeah. You get all excited. You send messages. Nobody responds. Finally, you've blown them up and they respond. They're like, I sold it 6 months ago. You're like, well, asshole, then make the change. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. You know what? I think that the problem is this. There are no swap meets anywhere. And when I say this, I mean everybody that lives in the Midwest and the East Coast and all this, you guys have a few swap meets. Like, it's a big deal when you go to the swap meet because there's like, oh, the so-and-so swap meet. Yeah, well, you know what? In the Western states, we have swap meets like every weekend or every month. Like there's jillions of them, which makes us way better at negotiating and selling and buying and all of those things. Because if you behave like that at a Pomona swap meet, it would be like people literally would hang a banner up in front of your booth and go, this guy's an idiot, you know.
Pomona, Long Beach, we were spoiled when we were living there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I was there Sunday.
Looked like in Kentucky.
Yeah, shut your pie hole, Crosby.
It was pouring down rain at 4 o'clock in the morning when I got up.
A Kentucky swap meet. That's a
but it stopped raining, didn't it?
What's that? What's that, Chad?
Say that again. I said, did it stopped raining though? Didn't you guys go out there still?
Yep, I took Jay's Bronco out there.
Oh no, it rained in California.
Yeah. We have like one big one in Lincoln, Nebraska in February, and it's about as good as like Long Beach when it's pouring rain, and it's I'm like 3 times. It's not good. And they have it. But
out here in California, we're all cotton candy. Won't melt.
Having a swap meet in February in Nebraska. I mean, what? Okay, you can have anything between 40 below zero blizzard weather to 40-degree weather.
Scott, it's a
if you know of good swap meets here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area within a few hours of here, let me know. Like, I would love to hear. And if you say Pate swap meet, I'm going to laugh at you and go, no wonder you can't afford to buy anything, because there ain't a deal at Pate swap meet and hasn't been in 10 years. Like that.
Go to the Conroe swap meet.
Conroe? That's a long way away, but okay.
It's the same place.
Everything's a long way away.
Same place they have Lone Star Throwdown, but the weekend before.
Oh, so what you're saying is that we should go to the Conroe swap meet and then stay there for the whole week?
You could.
Pretty much.
Okay, gotcha. Nice. I don't know what Niels is talking about, but he says 13.836, which I think means $13,836 is the asking price here in Denmark. Okay. Dar says the Long Beach Hot Rod Swap Meet is still the best. I do like Long Beach. They're seriously, Pomona and Long Beach are different. Like,
they're different. But
I prefer Pomona to hang out.
Different. That's a nice way. That's a nice way of putting that. Different. One is completely fucking overpriced, and the other one's Pomona.
What I liked about Long Beach is it's smaller, more focused.
I disagree. I think it was the other way around. I think that there's lots of times where you get better deals at Long Beach. I love that, though. Crosby is so good at an opinion. He's like, yeah, one's completely overpriced and the other one's Pomona. That's the greatest thing ever. I think you need a shirt that says swap meets in SoCal. One is completely overpriced, the other one's Pomona. It'd be great. You can sell the hell out of them, dude. It'd be awesome.
You're like, the stuff that they don't sell at Pomona, they sell the next week at Long Beach for half the price. So
that's true.
I used to go to both of them. Yeah, and I've never not found what I was looking for when I went to Long Beach. So
I can't say that, but
I went down there looking for a grill and a header pedal for my 65 Impala on the 4th time I got hit, and walked in there. Guy has the entire thing, including the radiator support, headlight buckets, and all this. Is I got to get $200 for it. I'm like, take my money. I don't
exactly. Take my money.
So swap meet next weekend in Denver.
Yeah, that's a long way away. And snowy.
It's called. This is what I'd like to talk about now, Chad. I just sent it to you.
It's called the Polar Bear Swap Meet. It says dress warm.
Dress warm.
Okay.
Dress warm. Parka and fucking sled dog.
I don't understand why this is a big deal, honestly. But we'll talk about it in a second. Clarksville, Tennessee. Also a long way away, Josh.
For you, that's
twice a year. It's small, 50 booths. Yeah, who cares? Like, dude, that's not even worth going to. When we moved here to Texas, I am telling you as God is my witness. Me and my dad heard about a swap meet, supposed to be good, little swap meet up north. We go out there, we get there at like 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning. It's, still dark, but it's starting to, lighten up. We get there and there's like a handful of people who have stuff out or, that are there to sell, but everything's covered with tarps. And there's a sign that says where to park, and we go in there. There isn't a single living soul anywhere. And Dad and I get in there, we're like, what the hell? So we just start walking around. Well, then some dude comes out of his RV and he's got all his stuff to sell. And I go, dude, is this thing just a bust or what? And he goes, what? And I go, well, where is everybody? Well, it's early. Like, yeah, because
what time
that's
was
what
it?
you do at swap meets. It was like, by this time, like 6:30 in the morning. Okay?
Fuck.
Like,
We've already found everything we wanted by then.
Yeah, I'd have been my third or 40th beer in by then, right? Like, this is wrong. So, dude says, oh no, nobody will be here until like 8 or 8:30 or whatever. Dad and I leave and go and I think we went to eat and then came back and sat in the car, like snoozing in the car for a while. And I had the truck, my truck and the trailer with the original chassis from Rusty on the trailer to trade with a guy that was there, that was a Tri-5 guy that I was going to trade some parts and some cash for my chassis. And I was blown away. And so by the time everybody was there, it was literally like 9:30 or something. And I said, all the good stuff would have been gone. All of it. Like, there wouldn't be anything worth having here at this hour. And nobody believes it, but our normal when we go to the Pomona swap meet is to meet up at Crosby's house or shop at 5 a.m.
Same thing.
By 5:15, 5:15, 5:20, we're driving out of the driveway. In 12 minutes, we're at Pomona swap meet, pulling the gate.
Depends on whether Jay lowered the car the night before or not.
Well, that's true, yes. But without Jay's shenanigans, and off we go. And then we get there, and we immediately start walking the rows. And by 10:30 or 11, we're standing over in the show car or in the car corral area, drinking beer, bullshitting. And between 11:30 and noon, we are leaving the place and going to Applebee's for lunch. That's how this works. Like,
and the only reason we stayed there that long is what Applebee's wasn't open yet.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, I literally would do this and then go home, and then Daphne and I would go and have a perfectly normal Saturday because I'd only wasted away the morning, like only 2 hours or 3 hours that she would have been awake anyway. Like, it was there. Yeah. A whole other thing. It is not the way it is here. People do not wake up early for parts here. Well, people don't wake up early for anything here. Maybe fishing, but I don't even think that based on all the bass boats I see driving down the road in the middle of the day. So
yeah, but everybody's up early back there for everything else. Why aren't they up early for that?
Well, the farmers get up early for farming, but the only other thing they get up early around here for is to kill deer. So I mean,
oh, there you go. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. They do that here too. But see, but they do. But they go and they stay somewhere like at a deer lease and party like rock stars and stuff, and get all drunk.
It's 4:30 in the morning. It's 25 degrees. I got deer urine on my boots, and I don't know why.
Yeah, exactly. God. Yeah, you will hose yourself down in deer piss and sit in a box in the middle of the woods by yourself.
Slow that bullet down to 55 miles an hour. Put headlights on it with the horn blowing. They'll jump right in front of it.
I'm going to sit here and stake it out like it's a sniper, and I'm going to be your 4 days of nothing. Down the road, that fucker's coming over the hood.
Oh, my God.
That's an
Green is
elusive
asking if
creature
we
right
talked
there.
about Texas Radio Roundup. No, we didn't. We're not talking about any particular events, Barrett. That wasn't the point. But if you're looking for a great radio race, Texas Radio Roundup, go check it out on Facebook. I don't know. Is there a website, Barrett? Put a link. Okay. So it is, we're an hour and 10 minutes in. We're going to talk about one more thing that Crosby wanted to talk about. And then,
I have a
and then we're going
specific
to call it a
reason.
day.
I have a specific reason why.
I'm down. I want to hear it. So Crosby is not like everybody in the world lost their minds about this, and quite frankly, I'm a little confused as to why. Hold on here.
And I'm going to preface this with, before you show it,
Yeah.
imagine it with stainless steel exhaust out one side of it, the stack injection out of the opposite side of it in a roadster pickup with a winner's quick change, and
would look like an old school
with a full belly pan, but being able to see every bit of suspension.
Oh yeah,
from inside the car.
It would look like it would be totally OG, even though it's modern.
Right. Exactly.
I approve of that. So here's what we're talking about. We're talking about the 3.6 liter 4-cylinder LS-headed crate engine from Blueprint. Two things. A, it is not a crate engine yet. It isn't there yet. Liggett may have some insight into this. I don't know if they were developing this before. Now, everything I ever heard about this, it's a marine engine, was what it was originally designed for, to replace other so here's the thing. So Chevrolet, so GM quit manufacturing a bunch of engines that are currently used in marine applications from the factory. And so there's a bunch of emissions regulations that go on with marine stuff and all this. So Blueprint...
LM is the actual preface to that, is
right.
land and marine.
But Blueprint's parent company, does new replacement engines and remanufactured engines. And so they looked at the Blueprint side and said, okay, we should, look at making new engines for these that we could potentially sell to OE, boat manufacturers, et cetera, et cetera. And there are a variety of engines that you don't know about that were in that developed in that vein.
They had a major boat engine boat power company that was trying to circumvent having to go through all new emissions, because GM wanted them to put LS engines in it, and then they would have to basically start over and spend billions of dollars on emissions testing.
Yes.
So Blueprint's one of their sister companies is First Mate Marine, and they were messing around with this for a while, and I don't know what happened with it, but they actually had a small block Chevy short block that was designed to take LS heads.
Correct.
Which
because as long as
they got it to a running,
the short block was the same, then the cylinder head could be changed basically, and it wouldn't require any new testing and certification and all that. So that was the idea.
So basically, it was a 350 Chevy with an LS head. Yeah,
but
I don't know whatever happened with it. They kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed.
Yeah,
but I don't know what happened to it. So I remember they had 2 or 3 of them lying around. I think they actually ran one to a running one, but I don't know what happened to it. It was one of those like secret projects, but it's so long ago. I don't think it's a secret anymore. But
no. And so
Blueprint
showed up with this engine at the PRI
This could actually be. This is actually more likely an industrial engine.
Well, it could be, but it was at PRI on display in the Blueprint booth. So
they were messing around. You know what? They Yeah, they think they're trying to gauge interest in it. Is what they're doing.
Yes, exactly.
Age interest.
And
I
so
want
everybody
one.
lost their minds.
Mhm.
The
I
thing about
started-
it is, even if they said this is the greatest thing ever and oh my God, it makes 340 horsepower from 3.6 liters and everybody lost their mind, they'll sell 11 of them and that's it. Like they will not sell 1 million of these engines. I just do not believe it. I think it's a cool engine. Don't get me wrong. And I have stuff that I think it would be fun to put in. Like I think it'd be great in an S10.
If you look
I
at
think
it,
it would be great in a bunch of stuff.
This
if
and
you look
a
at it from their
620
standpoint,
Datsun
the
pickup.
cost of making this is the cost of making it on their end, even if they only sell 20 a year, is negligible because they're already probably building it for something else, which is most likely either marine or their origin engine line, which is the industrial engine. Like for the last 2 years I was there, Blueprint's other part of their factory floor was building 383 Chevys that were Kohler and home generator engines that ran on natural gas.
Yep.
And from basically the only real difference between those 383s and the ones they were selling out of Blueprint was a camshaft, really, and when the accessories bolted on the outside.
Right.
It was the same head, same block, same everything. They had their own line. The obviously industrial engines, their industrial engine line has nothing that's remanufactured, so every single part's new.
Right.
So
and if you knew the stuff that goes into like the cylinder heads, they have 632s that are stationary engines used for pumping natural gas, and they run on the natural gas that they're pumping out of the ground. And those have the craziest, weirdest, tiniest, oddest cylinder head you have ever seen on something like a 632.
It's a peanut port head.
Yeah.
It's
they run at 1700 RPM. Like that's what they sit
at.
And they just run at 1700 for a million hours.
Yeah, 632 running at 1800 RPM, making 800 foot-pounds of torque. And it's running on basically their own version of a GM peanut port big block head and their own version of a Dart single plane intake for peanut port heads. And some of them run on that raw natural gas that come right out of the well they're pumping on. So it's or propane, a bunch of other different versions. It's pretty cool stuff. And they have turbocharged ones now too. It's pretty cool.
You got
stuff.
all like computerized sounding, and I understood what you were saying because I know what you're talking about, but you sounded way weirdo right there for a second. But what Liggett was saying was it's those engines have a peanut port head, which is a small gear ahead. It's not. But it's that style. And they're brand new. And then an intake manifold that goes for that, and they run at 17 to 1800 RPM. And like you said, make 800 foot-pounds of torque. It's crazy.
Yeah, they have like a 383 with like the itty bitty little turbo that used to be on the Suzuki Swift turbo, that tiny little 30 millimeter one, and it was on Kohler's tuning. It was making 640 foot-pounds of torque at 2000 RPM.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Some
of that stuff is super fun.
I just wow. But all it's doing is making sure your power stays on. It's sitting outside in a box next to your house. So
and it just fires itself up once a month so that it makes sure it's still running. And then whenever your power goes out, it automatically turns on.
Yeah. And they need.
Okay, Josh Jones says put a big ass turbo on the 4-cylinder. I agree with him on that. I think that would be fun. Yeah. But I also think doing one retro style like Crosby's talking about would be neat. But I do not think this is like some game changer engine. I would love to put one in something like an S10, but I think it would surprise me if this was anything more than a great marketing ploy to get the bunch of attention. If they end up doing something with this thing and making it be a really cool, fun engine to put in other things, that would be awesome. The truth of the matter is 340 horsepower from that thing with an LS head on 3.6 liters. That's pretty impressive. Like that thing has to be pretty nasty to make that kind of power, because you're talking about an engine that is, I mean, again, it's half of an LS, right? So, and it's, you know, if you look at 3.6 liters, I'm doing the math here, is roughly 220 cubic inches. You know,
I think it's
that's
213 is what it comes out to.
Is it?
So
Okay.
it's half of a 427.
Yeah, it's exactly it. And so a 680 horse 427, yeah, I believe, but you can't just have it. When you get rid of half of the cylinders, you're also getting rid of some of the help from the other half of the cylinders. So the power number is not going to just be half. You know, I don't know. I want to see this thing run. Like now, I'm going to be more.
But you're also eliminating a lot of rotating weight too. So
you are. That's true. I'm going to see these guys in 5 days. So I'll find out.
Tell them I want one.
Yeah, I will. Yes, I'm coming to Southern California. I will be there Sunday morning. We'll be hanging out at Crosby's shop. I'm going to try and go over to West Tech on Monday, I believe, and say hi to them as well. And then MPMC Media Trade Conference is happening Tuesday through Thursday. McTaggart will be there as well. When are you getting into town? On Tuesday?
No, I will be in Monday because I have to prep the rooms, and I will be there. I will be leaving Friday about noon.
Oh, okay.
Am I picking you up at the airport, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. Because I got to drop little D off. I got to drop little D off at about 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my flight, I land at 10 in the morning.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Sunday at 10 in the morning.
Oh, okay. Then little Dave will be here.
Oh, okay, cool.
When you're here.
Awesome.
So MPMC,
well,
is this where the...
Oh, go ahead.
You go to the different manufacturers are in different hotel rooms.
Yes. So it's held at an Embassy Suites hotel, and the reason it's at an Embassy Suites is because there's a big courtyard in the middle of them, and so all the rooms open out into the center, and so it's on typically 3 or 4 floors, and manufacturers all have hotel rooms, and the front rooms in those hotel rooms are like a living area. And so they'll have a display.
And the back rooms are where the hookers are at.
Yes, exactly. And so they'll have their stuff on display, and every 30 minutes you change rooms like speed dating and go in and meet with the manufacturers. And we talk about editorial and new parts and all those things and get to see stuff that, a lot of cases is stuff you might have seen at SEMA or whatever. And then in a bunch of cases, it's new stuff that nobody's seen yet, may not even be coming out for another 6 months, but yeah, so it's fun.
It's a chance where you get to sit down and actually have the discussion one-on-one. You're not surrounded. You're not trying to drown out the whole crowd. You're not trying to fight for position. This is where you have that time where you can sit down as media and as the manufacturer and go, okay, what do you want? What do you want to do with it? And what do we get out of it?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yep, and it's cool. It's a fun event. It's good. It's good to catch up with people and, to see, folks in a less stressful environment and stuff, which is cool. It's also hectic as hell, but, on the one hand, but it's a good event. It's really good. So, and last year it was, virtual, which I actually thought was really cool. And I wish they would do a combo. I wish they would do a virtual one once a year and then the live and in-person one also. But we'll see. So Big John's Engine and Engineering says it would be a 440 equivalent. Oh, because it has a 4125 bore with an LS7 style-ish head. And yeah, clearly visible cast on the block is Origin Engines. And Origin, I'm assuming Big John knows this, is the stationary engine division of Blueprint. So yes, and Dar Hawthorne is right. MPMC cocktails at 5:30. There's some mad dice games that go down in the lobby there. So that, we might do a special edition of PowerShift next Thursday. We're not supposed to be back for another 2 weeks, but it'll be Thursday night. We'll be there. What else are we gonna do? So we might do a special Thursday night edition live from the Embassy Suites bar or the American Powertrain room. Either way.
Hey, either way.
As opposed to dead.
It's one of these events that the people outside the industry don't even know about. I mean,
there's no reason for anybody else to know about it. It's awesome. But on Bang Shift, we're going to follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. We'll post a bunch of stuff from it all week. We'll have blog items going up from there as well. It should be cool. So for sure. But everybody, thank you for joining us today. Dude, an hour and 25 minutes. We almost stayed. Well, we did stay pretty much on top.
Oh, we got all three.
Yeah. So
you got your round out.
It's a weird thing. And Liggett, thank you for joining us tonight. Wickman, as always, you're looking lovely. You and your stupid little hand.
What the hell?
I'm surprised your wife has not tried to smother you in your sleep at some point. I mean, Amanda's awesome. Like, she's smart and she's good looking and all those things. I mean, like, what is it? She clearly sees something in you we don't. I don't get it. I kid because I love you, Wickman. You know it. Wickman and I send each other stupid messages all week long. Wait, no. Wickman sends me stupid messages all week long, and I respond.
I post things just to see what he's going to comment on.
Oh my God! Yes, it's always good. If you don't follow Charles Wickham on Facebook, you should, and on the IG. Right? You're on the IG.
Charles WPIX.
Yeah,
Charles
that's right. Yep. So follow him on the IG for sure. Liggett has Rebel Drivers Garage on YouTube, so you want to check that out as well. If you want to see the Impala project, his bitchin' C10. I bought a hood for a C10. He actually owns a C10. And one that was shortened from a long bed into a short bed, lowered, all kinds of trick stuff done on it, but still has awesome patina, but now with no rust holes. So really, really good truck. It's awesome. McTaggart, also on Facebook and Instagram, and one of the fine folks at Holly. And of course, Crosby, he also, what are you doing? Why are we looking at a cat's butt?
What the fuck? Dude!
I think it's hilarious that he got a cat.
My cat will kick your cat's ass.
Yes.
My cats will sit on your cat. That's the end of this argument.
That's true.
I'm surprised that cat doesn't fly in the
cat
death
is this big, and it hates Wickham. It tried to kill him. All right, ladies and gentlemen. God, this has gone off the rails.
On my YouTube page, Rebel Drivers Garage, you can actually watch me try to assemble a 428, and hopefully it doesn't blow up like the 390 and the 428 before and the 352. And
that's the universe telling you to stay GM.
That's what I was going to say.
Hey, be nice to the guy. He's got goals.
McTaggart, yes.
Wow.
You would have made that Ford run real good way before now and quicker and faster. A small block Chevrolet.
Ask me a middle finger in about 5 minutes.
I went to the junkyard the other day, saw a 65 Galaxy that just got in. It's hideous. It's turd brown, 4-door sedan with the world's ugliest wheels from 1990s. And under the hood, a brand new 390. Brand new, never been run.
Well, don't tell Wickham where it's at. He'll go get it.
About buying the whole, because he won't sell me just the engine. He'll sell me the whole damn car.
For how much?
$1,400.
So how much will he give you for the car after you pull the motor out of it?
I don't know. I'm just thinking, you know what? The Edelbrock RPM intake on it is now retailing at $680, and there's a brand new Edelbrock carburetor on it too. And I'm like,
I would park that thing out in a heartbeat, dude.
I was gonna say I'd bomb it in a field for about 3 days, gut it, and then put it back on the roll.
Hold on. When we get done with the show, Wickman will send you the maths on how that works because he's got it down.
Okay.
It'll be perfect.
Okay.
All right. I gotta go.
Yeah,
I got
I'm
stuff
thinking
to do.
about it.
Love you guys. Thank you everybody for tuning in.
All right. See you in a couple of days.
Yes, we'll see you later, everybody. We are out of here. It has been real. It's been fun, but we are donezo. See ya.
See ya.
Okay.